just put a 16 on his jersey. That's who he reminds me of.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana. And his mobility, how accurate the kid is with the football, the poise that he has. Here's the thing right here on the flea flicker, all those type of things. This dude is so confident. He's got that swag, that natural swag that he has, but his mobility, too.
He's changed their offense.
Yeah. The guy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Look at how he steps up and moves in the pocket, accurate throwing, has vision down the field. This kid is absolutely spectacular.
It's worth saying out loud that he's never lost a game in the NFL. I don't count the NFC championship. Technically, he lost the NFC championship game, but he didn't play. I mean, he never got a chance to play in that game. They've won every single game that he has started and finished. So if you're the Cowboys this morning, because this was a measuring stick. Look, the 49ers,
they said it themselves.
Where do you go now? You wake up this, you're a team leader on that team. You're all going to show up today at some point and, I don't know, lick your wounds, whatever it is you do after a game like that. What are you saying?
That it's week 5.
That's it.
It's week 5.
Yep.
As embarrassing and as bad as that game was, it is still week 5. We still have a whole season to get better. Now, can they catch up? Can they get better? Can they catch up to the 49ers? We'll see.
No.
Right.
But
Well,
listen, we'll see. We'll see. But as a player in the locker room, the only thing you can say this morning is we still got the whole season in front of us.
Yeah, it was a measuring stick game, all right, but they got beat by that measuring stick. Like, oh, my God.
Here's the thing.
You're saying that the stuff you saw last night you don't think is as correctable as it would need to be to make up that distance.
They were completely outclassed by San Francisco, and we can't put them into that conversation. I'm
not putting them in that conversation.
I was wrong thinking the Cowboys could be the best team in football a month ago. They're not. Now that we've seen them against elite competition, and here's my thing with where they are in the NFC. First of all, doubt becomes a very real thing right now when they play against top-tier competition. It's a very real thing. We can't sit here and pretend that if they have to play against the San Francisco again, that offense and Dak Prescott's not going to be like, I don't know if I can get past this team. Offensively, just the Cowboys' offense. They're not better than San Francisco. They're not better than Detroit. They're not better than Philadelphia. They're not better than Seattle. They're not better than the Rams. This is an offense right now that is, when we talk about the class of the NFC, is not in that top 5 or 6 conversation.
Last week, I said the Dallas Cowboys are a front-running team.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is if they're not, the defense is not scooping and scoring, creating turnovers and all that stuff, it's easy for Dak Prescott. I said, when they go head-to-head with a team and it's even, then Dak Prescott is one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Let me make one more point here, because I honestly believe this. This was not a line of scrimmage game. The Cowboys were better in pass protection than the 49ers last night. The Cowboys got more pressure on the quarterback than the 49ers did last night. The difference in this football game is 1, the quarterback play, and 2, the play calling. That was the difference. This was not San Francisco's line of scrimmage playing dominant football.
They could have used Kellen Moore as the offensive
Talk to me about that.
I'm telling you, because it's a dinosaur-looking
Boy Wonder?
offense. And Boy Wonder, look, I never criticized Boy Wonder. I'm a big fan.
You called him Boy Wonder. I mean, that feels
but I mean, look, the guy looks like a kid, but he was a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he was the issue here. I will say this, going in game plan-wise, you better know you need to win on first down. And 1.9 yards is what you average on first down. I'm sorry, you ain't going to get it. But here, I'm going to say this. As being over there, getting my butt kicked before and all that, and they say it's impossible to come back from. We came back from a 42-3 ass whipping and ended up beating a team. You're going to have to improve, but you got to understand what you need to work on, how you can beat a team like that. Because your plan was an absolute joke.
How? Then how do they do it?
They're going to have to go back and be creative. And they're going to also have to run the football and win the line of scrimmage.
I don't know, Rex. I don't know if they're capable of becoming more creative on offense. I honestly don't know. And that's why I mentioned
they fired the creative guy.
That's right.
I mean, that's what they had, a creative guy. They decided it was too creative, and they sent him off. They got a job in like 8 seconds.
And Greeny, that's what gives me hesitation right now after 5 weeks into this season. And I mentioned those teams. San Francisco's way more creative offensively. That matters.
Way more.
Detroit,
way more creative offensively. Seattle, significantly more. And here's my note. Look at quarterback played timid. That was my concern, right?
Yeah.
And the first couple weeks of the season, because the score was so different for them, or they had such an advantage, the quarterback didn't need to play it a certain way. And I did see timid last night. I saw sometimes Dak Prescott drop back, hit his back foot, and just immediately throw the check down instead of trying to get the ball downfield. And that, again, is a little bit of a concern for mine.
I think you got to figure out, this is the National Football League right now. Find ways to get your players the ball. Number one, is Tony Pollard not the best offensive weapon you have? I know everything is CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb. Well, what the heck? Tony Pollard is a stud. He is a weapon. Right. Use him. All right, and use Brandon Cooks.
Guess how many under center play action passes Dallas ran last night?
Probably one. Yeah, of course.
It was early in the third quarter to CeeDee Lamb for a big gain.
Look, if you had never seen a game before or didn't know anything about these players, didn't know the names on the backs of the jerseys, you would say one of them has a quarterback who looks elite and the other one does not. And it's not the direction you would think it would go. And I wrote down the words he said afterwards. Dak said it was the most humbling experience I've ever been a part of. And, I mean, it should feel that way this morning. And, Rex, you were suggesting to me this morning that Robert Saleh is a better man than you are. Why is that?
Because after that performance, I would have carried Hackett off myself on my shoulder like this, or D. Wood would have been with me. We would have carried him off. And I mean, in all seriousness, I swear, you know me, I would have done it, okay? And I don't care. But like, oh, yeah? Well, we don't just get back. We don't get even. We get ahead of you. And that's one way I would have done it. But Saleh's way better guy than me. He took the high road and all that. Man, just once I wish Robert wouldn't. You know what I mean? Oh, come on, buddy.
All right. That said, how did they do it? This was a game the Jets desperately needed. There was actually a lot more than just revenge at stake for the Jets. On many levels, if you know their schedule, their season was on the line yesterday, and they found a way to get it done. Why?
Defense played outstanding. Once, like the first series, the Denver Broncos was throwing a lot of screens. Russell Wilson was running around.
Yes.
Basically, they adjusted and made Russell Wilson play quarterback. Once that happened, the tide turned for the Jets as a team. Obviously, fed Breece Hall more. Anytime you feed him, man, good things going to happen for you. And then Zach Wilson. Listen, Zach Wilson has been playing some pretty good football, okay? I don't even blame him on the interception. I think it's just ball placement. It was a little off, but Zach Wilson has been playing smart football. That's going to be the key for this Jets team moving forward. Defense, run it. Zach Wilson, just keep ascending as a quarterback.
The reality is the Jets have changed their offense in the last couple weeks, ever since the injury. Now, we've been begging Nathaniel Hackett, get more creative, get more creative. The creativity is that when the Jets use motion in their run game, they look a lot like the Miami Dolphins do when it comes to running the football. This was early in the first half, okay? This is called split flow. Allows the angles of the offensive line to push. They're cutting the backside of the defense. That's a fantastic job. First half run. Okay, we go back to it early start in the second half, third quarter. Look at everybody gets to go create leverage and angles, and we're cutting the backside of the front. Now let's go to start the second half. This is called counter. We get the motion, right? You're pulling the defender. Boy, look at these double teams. Yep. We get the backside guard pulling through. The fullback wraps, and then this is the home run for Breece. Look at, he's untouched. He doesn't go 77 yards. He goes 77 untouched. And the motion use is something that I didn't expect out of Nathaniel Hackett. When they motion, okay, last 2 weeks, when they use that motion and snap the ball and run it while the motion's going 38 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
7.6 yards per carry. That's really what has happened for this offense. They're running, not just running the ball, they're running the football using motion to displace some of the second-level defenders, and it's been awesome.
Go ahead. Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't like motion.
Exactly.
And that's where you got to give Nathaniel Hackett a lot of credit for saying, you know what? We don't have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. We need to make changes that best suits our personnel right now.
I like it early.
Exact same thing.
I like it. They went a zone in the first half, which is that split flow, and then they come out in the second half and run a gap or a counter, and that's that home run.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm looking at it, like this reminded me of Detroit's run game.
Yeah.
So they've gone back and studied how are we going to run the ball. Remember, they combined their offensive coach, their offensive line coach, was more of a zone guy,
Yeah.
and Hackett's more of a duo guy.
Yes.
Well, now they're kind of combining the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And they're using motion as well. So to me,
That's huge.
That's what you got to do going forward. And I got to tell you something. Breece Lightning, as you call him,
He's the best.
go, Breece Lightning, because I'm telling you, he's 6th in the National Football League in rushing. And remember when I said those Jets are going to keep ascending?
Yeah.
I think they're a top 5 run team in the
they're going to
NFL.
keep ascending, aren't they? He's 28th in carries.
Yeah.
What's
Right.
going to happen when he starts getting the ball
Yes.
more? And I tell you what, Dalvin Cook, it's time for him to start stepping up as well and have that 1-2-3 punch with your guy Carter.
I like
also.
Michael Carter a lot.
You know what's great as well? If you're a Jets fan, you've seen two versions of Zach Wilson in the last 2 weeks. Last week versus the Jets, they were very aggressive. Excuse me, the
Kansas
Chiefs
City.
very aggressive on first down, and you saw him playing man coverage and beautiful ball placement throws. They didn't do that this week, but on third down, this kid was nails again. He was 6 and 9 on third down. These are on the second half. 3rd and 4, he gets Conklin on a little bit of a choice route. Conklin is becoming a very good route runner for this offense. 3rd and 5, they motion Garrett Wilson. Surtain goes over the top. He gets the ball out now. This is probably the play of the game coming up on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Empty set, peeks down to the bottom of the screen. It's not there. Reset, finds Conklin on a little bit of nod or stick nod out and up. 3rd down, he was huge. I know he throws that later interception, but you saw a quarterback that was ultra aggressive last week, and he was great. And then he had to be good on 3rd down and just efficient, and he was again. They'll be okay in the red zone. I know red zone was bad
Terrible.
yesterday,
Yeah.
mostly because of penalties. They could have beaten that team by 4 touchdowns.